So we've looked at how to factorise quadratics, and all the quadratics we've looked at factorising so far had a coefficient of x squared of 1. Now we need to start looking at coefficients of x squared that are greater than 1. Now there are two different techniques we can use. One will always work and one will work some of the time. So we're going to look at the one that works some of the time first, because it's nice and neat and easy. So if I look at my first expression, which is 4x squared minus 24x plus 32, I notice that all my coefficients there, the 4, the 24 and the 32, are divisible by 4. So I'm going to take a 4 outside. Now if I take a 4 outside, 4 times what gives me x squared, sorry, 4x squared is x squared. 4 times what gives me minus 24x, well that will be minus 6x. 4 times what gives me 32, that's 8. Now I've got a quadratic that I can factorise. I want to know the factors of 8, so that's 1 and 8, 2 and 4. So I've got brackets x, x. Signs are the same because it's a plus at the end. Signs are minuses because it's a minus in the middle. So the only way I can get minus 6 from my numbers is minus 2 and minus 4. So there you go, I factorised that quadratic. So that's one technique, and that only works when all the numbers are a multiple of each other. My other technique is a little bit more complicated. What I need to do is I need to take the first number and the last number and I need to multiply them together. And then I'm finding factors of that number, so that's 1 and 120, 2 and 60, 3 and 40, 4 and 30, 5 and 5 into 12 go 2, carry 2, 5 into 20 go 4, 6 is 20, 8 is 15 because they're my factors, and 10 is 12. Right, so I'm looking for a pair of factors here. Okay, I can look at my last sign, it's a minus, so that means my signs are different, so I'm going to have a plus and a minus. I've got to end up with 14. The only way I can end up with 14 is with 6 and with 20. So that's minus 6 and plus 20. So now the difference is, in this method, I'm going to expand what was my 14 into my plus 20 and my minus 6. Now I've got an expression. I'm going to factorise the first bit and the last bit. Now the nice thing about this method is it doesn't matter if I put the minus 6 there and then the plus 20 there, it will always work. So I'm looking for factors of 8x squared and 20x. Both of those can have a 4 taken out of them, and then we can also take an x out of them. So I've got 2x plus 5. And that is my first bit factorised. My second bit is what can I take out of a minus 6x and a minus 15? Well, that is minus 3. So what's left is 2x, and take a 3 out, minus 3 out of minus 15, I get a plus 5. Now notice how my brackets here are the same. If they're not, you've probably gone wrong somewhere, because the last step is I take that bracket, 2x plus 5, outside, and what's left is 4x minus 3. And I have factorised that quadratic. A little bit of work, but it's doable. Okay? Cool.